everyone. Are you trying to figure out how to take your career to the next level? Well, this little word is the key. So if you are somebody currently in a leadership role or want to move into a leadership role, learning how to say the word no is going to be the most successful thing you can do in your career. And don't worry, you're not alone if you feel uncomfortable with this word. Many of us struggle with it. I still struggle with it, even though I've had great success using it. So why is the word no so hard for us to do? Well, here's what happens, right? Somebody asks you something, they're like at work, your boss may say, hey, can you work some overtime tonight? Or maybe it is somebody who has called to offer, like me, who's called to offer you a chance at a program or a project. And you're like, oh, I would like to buy it, but I don't want to buy it. And so what happens is when we get asked to do things that we're not expected, we're not planning, and that are not aligned with our goals and our future success, we get into this fight, flight, or freeze state because there's this underlying belief that's attached to an emotion. And so what happens is we get this emotion that is in conflict with the emotion that we want. So we have this negative emotion that shows up and we're trying to resolve it with a positive emotion that is aligned with some underlying belief. So for example, that emotion could be, I don't want to hurt the person's feelings. So somebody's asked you to work overtime or help them. Maybe a teammate's asked you to help them. And there's this sensation that if I say no, I'm a bad person because I'm going to hurt their feelings. And what you really want is to show that you're a nice person, that you have this desire to please people and this desire to help. And so you get stuck between these two. And instead of being able to calmly and easily say no, you say yes to doing something that you don't want to do. The next example is, so for example, your boss comes and says, hey, can you work late tonight? And so just for clarification, your boss has this little bit of power over you that sometimes they're unaware of, that they don't create an atmosphere where you can say no or where it's easy for you to say no. And what happens is we get into our heads that, oh, I'm a terrible team player. But we may be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss my kid's soccer game tonight. And my excuse to them will be, I'm going to say yes to my boss, because we have this intention, this belief in ourselves that we are not good if we don't show up and perform at work, even though we may cause disappointment or sadness in other members of our family or friends because we're not able to meet those commitments. So the reason it becomes hard for us to say no is because we're struggling between these two emotions. But here's the deal. Jim Collins, who has written the book Good to Great, if you've never read it, I recommend reading it, says good is the enemy of great. And so every time you say yes to something that shows up and try and help people out, you're missing on the opportunity of greatness. And in the corporate world, it's really helpful for you to go, what is it that I'm focused on? What is it that I'm aligned with? And are these things that I'm saying yes to helping me move my career along, helping me be able to create opportunities for my family? Or is it holding me back because I'm saying yes and not learning to say no and take those priorities? So here's the thing. I know that I have struggled this through my career. I've listened to people who've struggled through this with their career. And so I am putting together a course. And if you get in before the end of May, it's going to be at $199. It is going to be a 4-week program. And I'm going to teach you how to say no without the emotional baggage that goes with it. So how to say no to your boss, how to say no to a colleague, how to say no to maybe your kids or your spouse, if necessary, or an in-law when they're asking for you to do all kinds of things, or even how to say no to a salesperson who is going to dig in. And I'll talk a little bit more about that and why it's important for you to learn how to say no calmly, easily, and effectively. So if you are interested, I will be posting a link on Thursday. You're going to see more about this. The doors will open then. It is going to be a beta program. So this course is going to increase in price after this first launch of it. So get in now, learn how to say no, learn how to progress your work and your career to the next level. And I'm going to share with you in that course some of the secrets and some of the wins that I've had once I've learned how to say no. My name is Nancy Michelli. I am a communications coach for leaders. I help corporations deal with difficult people, resolve conflict, and no is one of the keys to why conflict happens, because we can't say it easily. So if you're interested, post a little note below. If you know somebody who could do with learning how to say no, please share this video with them. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you and have a fabulous day today. Cheers.